Boxing out of the red corner at the 118-pound class, it's going to be Corey Smith. And in the blue corner, it's going to be Victor Burgos. This is also a no-decision fight, Paulie. They're both fighting out of the Haverhill Boxing Club. They're getting a little work tonight.
I can see why they not giving any decision. These both boys are from the same stable, knowing each other, and that's why they're not really putting power behind those punches. I was wondering why.
Okay, there you go. See, they're trying to... Here we go, these two trying to work each other out now. Smith and Burgos. Smith trying to be the aggressor here, Paulie, but Burgos is coming right back and kind of fighting it in tight there a little bit.
They're in tight, as I can say. It's tough for these kids to really go out and do an exhibition like this in front of a crowd. They get a little carried away sometimes, but they're holding back in there. But they're doing a great job of showing a good exhibition there, putting punches together in combinations. I guess that boxing school of Haverhill is got some great instructors there, because they're showing that right here.
Yeah. Good mechanics on these Haverhill boxers. They're not taking any chances. Like we saw last night, a lot of haymakers thrown.
Well, if this fight was for the trophy, for the real fight for decision,
yeah,
you'd see some real uncontrollable punches there, because they're throwing them with more vigor and more viciousness. Right now, they're just knowing they're not going to hurt each other. When they hit each other with a good punch, they're backing off. That's what exhibitions are all about. Not just to hurt each other, but show some good boxing combinations and clean punches.
Sure, get the people interested. That's why ABT is here for you folks. This no decision fight at 118 pounds is brought to you by the NEABF. Of course, the other fights coming up tonight are going to be the championship fights, and of course I get the no decisions and John gets the good ones, but this is a good battle in itself, Paulie. Smith versus Burgos. Smith trying to land that left hand, but Burgos coming right back with the counter.
Yeah, there's some great punches there, especially that double left hook you just saw to the right side of the jaw. They move very well, and like I say, it's a great school in Haverhill, and those instructors they have are doing a good job teaching these kids. But when it's not for real, you got to remember that. This is just an exhibition up there. When they're for real, you wouldn't see probably a show just as good as you just saw right there.
Well, no, exactly. You mentioned that, you know, you're going for it all. This is the bottom line. That the fight night, the big night. That, you know, these guys coming up. Next fight is a championship fight. We saw both these guys. Well, we saw Chris Tuck fight last night, but this fight here, Paulie, and the Haverhill Boxing Club, they have no. Well, they have Jeff Fraser. He's a contender tonight for the championship belt. We've got a good slew of different gyms around the state here, represented here tonight.
Well, New England is well known for great fighters, great amateur fighters especially. And of course, we're known for great professional fighters like DeMarco and Marciano and a lot of others. You know.
Yeah.
But we're getting into this one now. This is a real decision fight right here, and you're going to see some real hard punches and a lot of them a little off balance here.
Sure.
But these boys are doing very well right now. They're keeping their composure. Their hands are up high, and
they're on their toes.
Nice body punches there by both fighters.
See, of course, it's Burgos in the blue tank top, and Smith in the white.
Well, I'm beginning to notice something right here now. These two fighters must be from the same club. There's a great right hand there. They seem to be holding back some of them punches. They're not really putting them together. I think they're from the same stable. They're doing well. They're showing a great amount of ability on both sides, but they're not really putting their whole body behind.
No, the punches landing don't really have too much of an effect on either fighter.
They seem to be just dipping into one another, letting each other take combination shots. And they're probably from the same stable, and I can understand that. No use of hurting yourself when you're from the same stable and it's an exhibitional bout.
It's like fighting your brother, I guess.
Yes, it is when you're from that same stable, because you're there every day together, you're working together. But the only thing that happens, whether you're fighting your brother or not, when you're getting hit punches, sometimes you let one go like we just saw, and you get hurt a little bit, then you want to give them one back too, you know. So then it ends up in a war. You know how those brothers fights start, you know, and how they end up.
Oh, yes. Believe me. Believe you me. Here we go, though. This is the third and final round of the no-decision 118-pound fight here. Both boys from Haverhill here on ABT. NEABF on ABT. This is the first year for us. It's the 18th year for the NEABF. So NEABF's been around for a long spell, and they've put out some good fighters, Paulie.
Yes, they have. Because, you know, you have times and eras where one section of New England has great fighters, and then we have a lull, and they come from the other section. So it all depends on who's promoting the fighters and the boxing teams. If the town backs them up, and you see some fighters come out of a town that could get a little successful, I guess everybody wants to be a fighter. If we had a Bobby Orr from Brockton, we'd have everybody in Brockton want to be skaters instead of fighters.
You know it, and everybody wants to be on ABT, folks. But this is big time. This here, the NEABF Brown Breaking Material, brought to you by ABT. Peter McGowan with John Horrigan and Paul Stivaletta here in Whitman. We're coming up on the decision of the no decision fight between these two boxers out of the Haverhill Boxing Club. Next fight, though, coming up, this one will be for the belt. Not this one here, of course. This is the third round. But Tuck and Rivera is going to be a war, folks. Here we go, third round. They touch gloves and ready to go. Smith is in the white top, Burgos in the blue top. Burgos seems to be landing more punches, but there's a nice left hand by Smith.
Yeah, now these guys are really opening up here. Now we're going to see some good boxing. They got some great punches, great combinations, and they really put on a good show right now.
Well, now they're letting it loose here, Paulie.
You know what happens, even though you may be from the same stable. When you got a crowd watching and you get hit hard from your opponent, you want to deliver one back, or maybe even more than one, you know.
It kind of pride sets in here. These two guys, I don't know if they can hear us, but, you know, they want the recognition. Of course, it's kind of like an ego booster for one of these guys in the gym.
So, it certainly is, especially, like I say, when there's a crowd here. They want to, the ego gets in the way, and then they want that winner. Let the least crowd know that they did the better of the two. So,
Sure.
So
yeah, this no decision fight being brought to you by the NEABF. This is coming to a conclusion. This third and final round. But these guys seem to be a little bit tired now from all the punches they've thrown.
I don't think they're really that tight. See them, they're a nice combination there. Jab, right hand. But you know something, he's not really putting anything behind it. He couldn't run to the body in those punches right there. And Rivera had a good chance of scoring, so I think a knockout there if he wanted to. But they're holding back, from what I can see.
See, it looks to me like Victor Burgos is landing the more solid punches on Smith. Smitty looks like he's kind of in a daze back there, but he's still coming in, Paulie.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't mean to, I think, to be doing it. I can see the way they're punching, as great as they are, they're holding back on those punches. The Tuck, he looked like he was a little exhausted there, even doing that exhibition.
Well, here we go. That'll do it for the second match of the night here on ABT. We get a round of applause for the fighters tonight.